Hey, this is GatorX, and with recent events concerning the National Dex, as well as confusion of what's really going on, well, the Pokemon community has been an interesting place. But today I want to talk about Pokemon Home because that could potentially be the thing that's supposed to hold everything together. However, it doesn't exactly seem like it's doing that. Now, what we know about Pokemon Home is actually very little. It was announced alongside several other upcoming Pokemon projects, including Pokemon Sleep, which is exactly what I need right now. But we had assumed that it was basically going to be the new version of Pokemon Bank, in that it's a way to store your Pokemon and bring them over. Now, Pokemon Bank is a pretty neat little application that allowed us to transfer Pokemon from Generation 5 up into Generation 6, and then from there up into Generation 7. So it should have been the way that allowed us to continue to transfer Pokemon through every other generation, right? Sort of. Now there's Pokemon Home in the mix. And this is where I think everything starts to fall apart. Now, my personal thoughts on the National Dex issue are that I understand why they're doing it, I don't agree with it fully, I'm not going to cancel my pre-order, you can have your own opinions, and there are definitely some toxic and ignorant opinions and things being said on both sides. But I definitely feel like the lack of communication of what exactly Pokemon Home is supposed to be is a big contributing factor to this. Now, Pokemon Home can apparently take Pokemon from Pokemon Bank, from Pokemon Go, from Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and from Pokemon Sword and Shield. But it can only export Pokemon into Pokemon Sword and Shield. So any Pokemon from previous games that you have in Pokemon Bank, you can bring them up into Pokemon Home. However, they wouldn't be able to go from Pokemon Home into Pokemon Sword and Shield if they're not in the regional PokeDex. So what I'm basically getting from this is that for all intents and purposes, Pokemon Home is the national Pokedex. So yeah, we don't have a national dex in Sword and Shield, the national dex is Pokemon Home, a separate application. So technically, if you have something like a living Pokedex that you want to keep alive, you can still have that just in Pokemon Home, since that is going to be the place that will allow you to have Pokemon from Generation 1 all the way up through 8 all together in one place. Of course, you won't be able to use certain Pokemon that aren't included in the regional Pokedex of Sword and Shield, but you'll at least be able to have them all in one place on your Switch, and ready to transfer into the next game that does include them. Now, of course, if you have some issues with the no national dex, then this doesn't exactly fix all of it. It sort of does, but it's still not exactly you being able to use these Pokemon. However, that is basically it. Pokemon Home is the national Pokedex. However, the lack of further discussion and clarification and even gameplay footage or anything of Pokemon Home is what's hurting everything. Now, when Pokemon Home was announced, we all assumed that it would probably just look something like Pokemon Bank, just on a Switch. And that's definitely what I thought it was going to be. You'll probably get the same little mini sprite representation in order to easily see what these Pokemon are. And so then maybe an ideal solution could be implementing some sort of game similar to what the Pokepelago does. Because that could make some sort of sense. The Pokepelago is sort of like an additional little island resort for your Pokemon that are in the box to hang out. And so with Pokemon Home being marketed as the home basis for these Pokemon, why not have that be something similar? When it comes down to it, Pokemon Home is basically sending your Pokemon to Professor Oak when you gotta move on to another region, like what Ash did. And we know that Professor Oak took good care of those Pokemon and played around with them. So why not just have something like what's going on in Pokepelago in Pokemon Home? Again, maybe make it a little more interactive and a little more of a game rather than an application like Pokemon Bank is. But of course, that last part are just some of my suggestions on the matter. Again, the whole bring back the national dex situation is a mess, and like I said, I don't blame anybody for having any opinions. I blame people for saying rude things to each other for having a different opinion. But again, hopefully we can continue in a civilized manner. If you're not going to get the game, no problem. If you're going to get the game, stick around for more discussion because this is going to be real interesting going forward. But anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Again, please do keep the discussion civil if possible, but I'd definitely like to hear your thoughts down below. But if you do want to continue to see Pokemon run around and play together, I've actually started my playthrough of Pokepark for the Wii over on my other channel, GatorX Plays. It's actually pretty fun so far, so I'll leave that linked in the description as well as the end cards after the video. Your support would mean so much. Anyway, if you enjoyed the content, remember to leave a like and subscribe to show your support. You can enable notifications by clicking the bell icon next to the subscribe button. This will make sure you see each new video as it comes out and will make you a member of the Chingling squad, and I really hope Chingling is in the Galar region. Let's pray. Anyway, this has been GatorX. Have a nice day.